So, this video was meant to be talking about the time loop theory, which I had in my head for a while, and then I went to the cinema for a fifth viewing of the movie, with the intention of paying more attention to small details, and I came onto something completely different. Today I'm going to be yapping about the false god theory, a theory that explores the eel, the main antagonist of the movie Iron Lung. Once again, spoiler warning, please go watch the movie. This theory answers a few questions I had when watching the film. What actually was the monster? Why does the monster wait? And why does the monster contradict itself, leading Simon towards light and then becoming enraged over his interaction with it? This theory does link back to my pinhole theory. For those that haven't watched my other video, I recommend checking it out. But a quick overview is that the eye Simon sees in the sky after encountering the light is a god. This god looked into our universe through a pinhole that was inside of the human body, and as a result, this god's perception of the universe became absolute truth, replacing the universe with blood, gore and bone, which is the moons. In that theory, I also talked about what happened to the SM8 crew. It is basically confirmed that the SM8 crew becomes the monster known as the EEl, and my theory during that video was that this god shaped them into this form because it looked upon them and saw only curiosity, but didn't know what to do with it. That was wrong. Kind of. It was still the light that acted as a catalyst for this transformation, but if the pinhole was looking into a human body, then that must include the nervous system. It's curious that the monster only uses the SM8 lead scientist's voice. We can safely say that it's not a hallucination from Simon, because Simon's never met this person before, and the person also isn't aware of who Simon was. The SM8 expedition predates the Filament Station incident. And so I proposed this. What if the Blood Ocean had a nervous system before the SM8 crew expedition started? And what if going through the light, when this god changed the SM8 crew, it gave this nervous system a physical body, a soul, desires and intent, because perhaps the soul and mind is what the god missed in its pinhole. They gave the nervous system humanity, which superseded, in my opinion, a dormant hive mind. When the voice is guiding Simon towards the light, the eel is actively stalking him from behind. This is one of only 3 shots in the entire movie set outside the Iron Lung that aren't flashbacks. But just before Simon enters the light, we can see the eel behind him. The eel begins speaking to him, goading him into entering the light, saying, "What are you waiting for? It's right there," before the eel begins pushing him into the light. This of course is an incredibly heavy contradiction from how it behaves in the climax, in which it kills Ava and attempts to kill Simon. It screams at Simon,
"You saw the light, Simon. What did it see in you?"
Which again supports my pinhole theory that this god makes changes to our universe based on what it sees through this light. The eel even says in relation to the light, "It thinks, therefore we are." I believe that the eel was attempting to use this light for its own goal, to add another soul to its ranks. Instead of ingesting Simon directly, it attempts to use the light to transform Simon into another one of itself. It acts like a young god, ignorant and arrogant, thinking that it understands light because light gave this creature power, sentience, a voice, and most importantly, human ambition. This is why it's called the false god theory. It changes its mind because it realizes that it misunderstood the light. You saw the light, what did it see in you? And so it then understood that no one else can see the light, otherwise it risks reconstructing the entire universe all over again, potentially leading to the eel's downfall. It tried to use light to grow its power, but instead it just empowered Simon, leading to the New Eden theory. And so now it can't let him leave, especially if he brings others to see the light. Think of the chaos if this god bore witness upon hundreds of people left, each with their own beliefs, understandings, wants, ideologies, etc. And that's why the eel's behaviour is what it is. It's an arrogant creature of intelligence. One might say that's what the god saw when it witnessed the SM8 crew. Thanks again for watching. All of the EEl art was done by my friend Lee, links to the socials in the description, and I promise next poll you will get to decide what the topic is. I just got really distracted and no longer believe the time loop theory works at all anymore. I don't know how to end these videos, so grab a goobie.